What if the most shocking stories about Jesus weren't hidden because they were false, but because they revealed a truth the church could never allow? A wrathful, unpredictable child God who killed with a word, resurrected playmates, and left his entire village in terror? The Infancy Gospel of Thomas, banned and condemned for over 1,600 years, tells the forbidden story of Jesus' childhood, a narrative so disturbing that early church fathers ordered every copy burned and erased. This isn't the gentle lamb you heard about in Sunday school. This is a divine child with unimaginable power, learning to wield it in ways that terrified even his parents. The church buried these stories because they shattered the image of a flawless Messiah, exposing a Jesus who was dangerously human, wrathfully divine, and absolutely unpredictable. Written around 150 to 200 AD, the Infancy Gospel of Thomas stands as one of the oldest accounts of Jesus' early years, predating many accepted New Testament texts. Its manuscripts survived across Egypt, Syria, and Europe in Greek, Latin, Coptic, and Syriac, spreading like wildfire among early Christian communities. But the Church's reaction was swift and merciless. Jerome, Pope Gelasius I, and other church fathers condemned it as heresy, launching campaigns to destroy every trace. Why? Because this gospel revealed a Jesus who didn't fit the carefully curated narrative of divine perfection and gentle love. The church needed a savior who was pure from birth, not a child God learning to control terrifying power. The miracles described in this gospel are nothing like the sanitized wonders of the canonical gospels. Picture a 5-year-old Jesus playing by a stream when another child disturbs his water. Jesus curses him, and the boy drops dead on the spot. When Jesus forms clay sparrows on the Sabbath and brings them to life with a clap, the adults aren't awed. They're horrified by the casual display of divine power from a child. Another boy bumps into Jesus and is struck dead by his words alone. The villagers begin whispering, "Sorcerer, demon, monster." Parents hide their children when Jesus approaches. This isn't the loving Jesus of the Gospels. It's raw, unchecked divinity in the body of a child. His encounters with teachers are even more unsettling. Zacchaeus, a respected scholar, tries to instruct the boy Jesus and is humiliated by supernatural wisdom far beyond his years. Another teacher, frustrated by Jesus' insolence, strikes him and dies instantly. Joseph and Mary are powerless, watching their son's powers become both blessing and curse. The boy who should be learning his letters already knows the secrets of creation. Adults who try to discipline him face divine retribution. The village lives in a state of awe and fear, never knowing if the holy child will show mercy or wrath. But the most chilling aspect is Jesus' selective mercy. After killing children with his curses, he resurrects them, but only after their families have suffered the agony of loss. When a boy falls from a roof and dies, Jesus raises him not out of compassion, but to clear his own name of murder. He decides who lives and who dies, using his power for reasons only he understands. The message is clear. This child holds absolute power over life and death, and he uses it according to his own mysterious will. Rome was terrified by this gospel because it threatened the very foundation of Christian doctrine. The wrathful, unpredictable Jesus of the Infancy Gospel contradicted the Church's teaching of divine love and sinlessness. Early Christian communities were split. Some embraced these stories as authentic, others denounced them as blasphemous. The Council of Nicaea and later papal decrees systematically suppressed problematic gospels that didn't fit the official narrative. The Church needed a perfect Messiah who never made mistakes, never showed anger, never learned through trial and error. The Infancy Gospel showed a Jesus who was disturbingly human while wielding godlike power. Despite official bans, the Gospel survived underground. Monks copied the text in hidden scriptoriums, preserving it in folklore and apocryphal collections. Fragments have surfaced in Irish monasteries, Latin manuscripts, and Coptic libraries, proof that the stories refused to die. Even today, many scholars avoid discussing the Gospel's implications, treating it as a literary curiosity rather than a theological threat. The text's journey from forbidden scroll to suppressed manuscript exposes the Church's ongoing fear of alternative narratives. The implications are staggering. If authentic, this gospel shows Jesus growing into his divinity learning, making mistakes, struggling with power. It challenges the doctrine of Jesus' perfect nature from birth, suggesting instead a more relatable human Messiah who had to learn compassion and control. This is the dangerous idea the Church couldn't accept, that God incarnate was once a child who struggled with the weight of infinite power, who made mistakes, who showed wrath before learning love. Modern suppression continues. Catholic scholars dismiss the gospel as pious fiction, and it's rarely discussed in seminaries or mainstream theology. Academic institutions sidestep its most disturbing content, focusing on its literary quirks rather than its theological bombshells. The Infancy Gospel remains hidden from most Christians, still considered too dangerous after nearly 2 millennia. The Vatican's silence speaks volumes. If these stories were mere fantasy, why centuries of suppression, manuscript destruction, and academic avoidance? The Church's reaction suggests these stories contain something far more threatening than heresy. They reveal a Jesus who was learning to be both human and divine, who made mistakes, who grew into the perfect Savior through experience, not birthright. The Infancy Gospel of Thomas shows us a Jesus the Church never wanted you to meet. Wrathful, powerful, and learning to be human. It suggests the path to divinity might not be perfection from birth, but growth through struggle, wisdom through experience, and love through learning. This gospel doesn't diminish Jesus. It makes him more real, more relatable, and infinitely more fascinating than the sanitized version handed down through the centuries. So what do you think? Is this the real Jesus, a divine child learning to control unimaginable power? Or is it a dangerous heresy that threatens the foundation of faith? What other banned stories and suppressed gospels do you believe the Vatican is hiding in their secret archives? Drop your most controversial theories and the forbidden knowledge that opened your eyes in the comments. I want to hear what hidden truths you think the Church is still covering up. And if you're hungry for more banned gospels, suppressed Christian history, and the secrets they never wanted you to discover, smash that subscribe button and ring the bell. Because next time, we're diving into the Gospel of Peter and the secret crucifixion account that completely contradicts everything the Bible teaches about Jesus' death. Stay curious, stay skeptical, and never stop questioning the official story.